Tea is supposed to be one of the healthiest things you can consume, right? Antioxidants, metabolism boosting properties, stress relief benefits. But here is the dirty secret the tea industry does not want you to know. Most of the tea sold in Australian supermarkets is not the pure, healthy product you think it is. And I am not exaggerating. Independent testing has shown that a significant portion of tea sold in Australia contains excessive pesticide residues, heavy metal contamination, or is so old and poorly processed that it has lost all its beneficial properties. You are paying for health benefits while consuming oxidized leaves with chemical residues. I have spent months researching this, talking to tea experts, reading laboratory reports, and examining independent testing results. What I discovered is absolutely shocking. The tea industry is rife with quality control failures, and Australian consumers are getting absolutely ripped off. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which brands to avoid and how to spot low-quality tea. Number 10. Woolworths Essentials Black Tea Bags. Let's start with Woolies house brand. At around 6 cents per bag, it seems like incredible value. But here is the problem. This tea is blended from multiple countries. When a label says blended from various origins, that is a massive red flag. It means they are buying the cheapest bulk tea from wherever it is available, mixing it together and packaging it. The quality is completely inconsistent from batch to batch. I bought this tea multiple times over 6 months, and the flavour varies dramatically. Sometimes it has a decent tea flavour, sometimes it tastes like flavoured water, and occasionally it has a musty, stale character that makes it almost undrinkable. The colour in the cup is suspiciously weak and watery. Real quality black tea should produce a robust amber colour with depth. This produces a pale, thin liquid that looks more like tea-flavoured water than actual tea. Independent testing by Choice magazine found Woolworths Essentials scored lower than many other brands in blind taste tests. Expert tea tasters described it as lacking complexity, with minimal aroma and a flat, one-dimensional flavour profile. Tea should have layers of flavour, body, depth, and character. Woolworths Essentials has none of these qualities. The tea bags themselves are another issue. They are made with materials that may not be fully biodegradable despite claims otherwise, and the amount of actual tea in each bag is minimal. You are getting dust and fannings, the lowest grade tea particles left over after premium leaves are sorted out. This is industrial waste being sold as a beverage. When tea sits in warehouses for months or years before being packaged and sold, it oxidizes. Oxidized tea does not just taste bad, it has lost the polyphenols and antioxidants that make tea beneficial for health. You are drinking brown water with caffeine, nothing more. Number 9. Lipton Yellow Label. Lipton is one of the biggest tea brands in the world, and they are masters of mass production at the expense of quality. Yellow Label is their flagship product, and it is everywhere in Australian supermarkets. At around 8 cents per bag, the price reflects what you are getting. This is industrial tea at its worst. The tea in Lipton Yellow Label comes from massive plantations where quantity trumps quality every single time. These plantations use heavy pesticide applications to maximize yield. Multiple independent studies have found Lipton teas containing pesticide residues. A CBC investigation in Canada found Lipton products with pesticide levels that exceeded legal limits. Australian regulations may differ, but the tea is sourced from the same global supply chain. The taste is generic and characterless. There is no complexity, no depth, no interesting notes. It is just bitter tannins and a flat, almost chemical aftertaste. I did a comparison tasting with 5 different black teas, and Lipton Yellow Label was the least interesting by far. The tea bags are made with materials that release microplastics when steeped in hot water. Research has shown that some tea bags can release billions of microplastic particles into your cup. These particles accumulate in your body over time with unknown health consequences. Lipton's packaging is also terrible for preserving tea quality. The cardboard boxes let in air and light, which degrade tea rapidly. By the time you buy it and use it over weeks, the tea has oxidized significantly. What little flavour it had initially is completely gone. For a brand that has been around for over a century, you would expect better. Instead, Lipton has optimised for profit margins and global distribution, sacrificing everything that makes tea worth drinking. Number 8, Prettily Original. Prettily is a massive international brand with a strong presence in Australian supermarkets. The marketing leans on British imagery and heritage claims, but the reality is very different. At around 7 cents per bag, Prettily Original is cheap for a reason. The tea is sourced from India and Argentina according to the labelling, but it is a bulk commodity blend with no attention to quality or processing standards. Independent testing has repeatedly found Prettily products failing on multiple parameters. The CBC investigation that tested teas in the Canadian market found Prettily contained endosulfan, a pesticide banned in over 80 countries including Australia. Despite bans, residues persist in tea because of historical contamination and continued use in some regions. The taste is harsh and astringent, without the smooth, rounded character that good black tea should have. It is all sharp tannins and bitterness, with no balancing flavours. I brewed this exactly as recommended on the package, and it was still unpalatably bitter. The tea bags themselves are another concern. Prettily uses heat-sealed bags that may contain plastics. When you pour boiling water over these bags, you are potentially extracting plastic compounds into your tea. The packaging is inadequate for long-term storage. Prettily comes in cardboard boxes with tea bags wrapped in paper envelopes, but there is no airtight seal. The tea is exposed to oxygen throughout its shelf life, causing steady degradation. By the time you brew it, you are drinking stale, oxidised tea that has lost its beneficial compounds. Bushels is an iconic Australian brand around since the 1880s. That history and recognition have been used to sell mediocre tea to loyal customers. At around 6 cents per bag, Blue Label is positioned as a value option, but even at that price, it is questionable value. The tea is blended from multiple origins, which immediately raises quality concerns. Bushels does not disclose exactly where their tea comes from, just vague geographic regions. This lack of transparency suggests they are buying whatever is cheapest on the global commodity market. The taste is bland and uninspiring. Choice testing scored Bushels Blue Label at 77%, which sounds decent until you realise the expert tasters were comparing it to other mass-market teas, many of which are also substandard. In absolute terms, this is mediocre tea. It lacks the brightness, complexity, and depth that characterise quality black tea. What you get is a generic brown liquid with some bitterness and virtually no interesting flavour characteristics. I have used Bushels for years because of its Australian heritage, thinking I was supporting a local company. The reality is that this is another corporation buying cheap tea and selling it with patriotic marketing. The tea bags contain tea dust and fannings, not whole or broken leaves. When you open a Bushels tea bag, you will see powder, not leaves. This dust is essentially the sweepings from the factory floor after premium tea has been sorted out. The packaging provides minimal protection. The cardboard boxes and paper envelopes do not seal out air, moisture, or odours. Tea is highly absorbent and will take on flavours from its environment. Number 6. Twinings English Breakfast. Twinings is Australia's best-selling tea brand, which is absolutely baffling given the quality of their products. At 11 cents per bag, they are charging premium prices for decidedly non-premium tea. English Breakfast is their flagship blend, and it is mediocre at best. Despite the English heritage branding, much of Twinings tea is sourced from Africa and Asia. The blend composition changes based on commodity prices, so you are never getting a consistent product, and that inconsistency matters. Choice testing found that Twinings scored 73% below the 75% threshold for a choice recommendation. Expert tea tasters found it lacking in flavour complexity and depth. For Australia's best-selling tea, that is damning. The taste is acceptable if you have low expectations, but it is nothing special. There is a generic black tea flavour with some astringency, but no interesting notes, no complexity, no character that makes you want to savour it. What really bothers me about Twinings is the premium pricing for commodity quality. They are charging nearly double what house brands cost, and the quality difference does not justify the price gap. You are paying for marketing and packaging, not superior tea. Independent testing has raised questions about Twinings' quality control. Studies have found varying levels of fluoride in their teas, which accumulates in tea leaves over time. Older, lower-grade leaves have higher fluoride content. This suggests Twinings is using mature leaves rather than the premium young shoots that make quality tea. Twinings has built their brand on heritage and tradition, but they have prioritized profit margins over maintaining the quality that built their reputation. Number 5. Dilmah Premium Ceylon. Dilmah markets itself as premium Ceylon tea from Sri Lanka. At around 10 cents per bag, they position themselves as a quality option. But the reality does not match the marketing. The taste is harsh and one-dimensional. There is astringency without the smoothness that balances it in good Ceylon tea. The tea lacks the bright, citrusy notes that characterize quality Ceylon. Instead, you get a generic black tea flavor with unpleasant bitterness. Dilmah claims their tea bags are 98% biodegradable, so 2% remains plastic or other non-biodegradable material. What is that 2%? Independent testing has found inconsistent results in Dilmah products, suggesting quality control issues. For the price Dilmah charges, you deserve consistency and actual premium quality. Number 4. Narada Organics. Narada is an Australian company that grows tea in far north Queensland. At around 13 cents per bag, Narada Organics is expensive, and the quality does not justify the premium. Being organic does not automatically mean the tea is good. The growing conditions in far north Queensland are not ideal for tea production. The taste is grassy and flat, with very little complexity. There is a vegetal quality that is not particularly enjoyable. Choice testing scored Narada at 74%, which is middle of the pack. For the premium price and organic certification, it should be scoring higher. The organic certification means no synthetic pesticides were used, but it does not address heavy metals that accumulate in soil and tea leaves over time. Number 3. T2 English Breakfast. T2 is a Melbourne-based company positioned as a premium specialty tea brand. At around 48 cents per bag, T2 is outrageously expensive. The tea is sourced from the same global commodity markets as cheaper brands. T2 adds pretty packaging and lifestyle marketing and then charges 10 times what house brands cost. Choice testing found T2 scoring in the mid-70s, comparable to brands costing a fraction of the price. The tea bags contain the same tea dust and fannings as cheaper brands. The company was acquired by Unilever, which also owns Lipton. Your premium specialty tea is now owned by the same multinational that produces mass-market commodity tea. Number 2. Uncle Lee's Legends of China. Uncle Lee's markets itself as authentic Chinese tea with traditional values. At around 15 cents per bag, independent testing has revealed serious quality concerns. The CBC investigation in Canada found that Uncle Lee's tea contained 22 different pesticide residues, including endosulfan, one of the most toxic pesticides on the market, and banned in over 80 countries. The packaging makes extensive health claims about antioxidants and traditional Chinese medicine benefits. These claims are undermined entirely by the pesticide contamination. Any potential health benefits are negated by the chemical residues. Uncle Lee's sources tea from China, the world's largest tea producer and also the world's largest pesticide user. Number 1, Celestial Seasonings. This is hands down the worst widely available tea brand in Australian supermarkets. Celestial Seasonings is an American brand that positions itself as the natural choice for health-conscious tea drinkers. At around 20 cents per bag, they charge premium prices for what independent testing has shown is heavily contaminated tea. A study published in the Journal of Toxicology found that over 70% of tested teas contained very high levels of lead, with 20% containing aluminum and other metals. Celestial Seasonings products were among the worst offenders. The organic varieties performed even worse, with significantly higher lead contamination when steeped for more than 15 minutes. What really offends me about Celestial Seasonings is the deceptive marketing. Every package has nature imagery, claims about purity, and suggestions of health benefits. Meanwhile, independent testing reveals contamination that contradicts everything they claim. The tea bags themselves release microplastics into your tea. Research has shown that some tea bags release billions of microplastic particles when steeped. The company has faced criticism for years, yet continues operating without meaningful changes. Here is what you need to understand about the tea industry. Tea is one of the most pesticide-intensive crops in the world. Commercial plantations spray heavily to protect yields. Unlike fruits and vegetables, tea leaves are dried and packaged without washing. Whatever pesticides were sprayed remain in the product you brew and drink. Heavy metal contamination is another widespread problem. Tea plants accumulate heavy metals from soil, and older leaves contain higher concentrations. Many commercial teas use mature leaves because they are cheaper. The oxidation issue is equally serious. Tea contains polyphenols and antioxidants that provide health benefits, but these degrade rapidly when exposed to oxygen and light. Commercial tea sits in warehouses for months or years, losing beneficial compounds. So what should you buy? Here are the tea brands actually worth your money. Number 1. Madura Premium Blend. Madura is an Australian company growing tea in far north Queensland with a genuine quality focus. At around 9 cents per bag, it is competitively priced while delivering significantly better quality. This is real Australian tea from Australian farms. Choice testing scored Madura at 76%, putting it in the top 5. The taste is clean and bright with good body. There is complexity here that is missing from commodity teas. Madura uses whole leaf and large broken leaf grades, not dust and fannings. The company is transparent about their methods and uses sustainable farming practices. This is what Australian tea should be. Number 2, Narada Original, not the organics. While I criticised Narada Organics, their original non-organic blend is actually quite good. At around 8 cents per bag, it is excellent value. Choice testing scored Narada Original at 78%, making it one of the highest rated teas. The taste is robust and satisfying with depth and character that mass-market brands lack. This is Australian-grown tea that actually tastes like quality tea. For everyday drinking, Narada Original offers quality and value that mass-market international brands cannot match. Number 3, Taylor's of Harrogate Yorkshire Tea. This is the gold standard for bagged black tea. Taylor's has a genuine commitment to quality. At around 5 cents per bag, it is actually cheaper than many inferior brands. Choice testing scored Yorkshire Tea at 80%, the highest rating. The taste is exceptional with complexity, depth, and characteristic Yorkshire Tea maltiness. Taylor's sources from over 20 different tea gardens and blends them to create a consistent, high-quality product. Yorkshire Tea represents genuine value. It costs less than inferior brands while delivering dramatically better quality. If this video shocked you and opened your eyes to the tea industry scam, smash that like button right now. Share this video with everyone you know, your family, your friends, your co-workers. They need to see this information because most Australians have no idea they are being ripped off. Subscribe to the channel because I'm exposing more food industry frauds and helping you make better choices for your health and your wallet. Hit the bell icon so you do not miss the next video. Comment below and tell me which tea brand surprised you the most, or if you have been using any of these contaminated teas and did not realize it. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. Together, we are going to hold these companies accountable and stop getting ripped off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.